Hi, I'm Tara from Wild Bird Farm. I garden here in Zone 5 in central Iowa. It is the very beginning of February. We had 20 some inches of snow just 2 weeks ago, and now we are down to barely any. So it's definitely time to get our poppies sowed. The easiest way I've found to sow poppies is just to gently sprinkle them on top of a skiff of snow. So when your snow is, anywhere from 1 inch to 4 inches in your garden beds, walk through and sprinkle your poppies. As the snow melts, it's going to take those tiny seeds down into the soil, and they're going to sit right on top where they like to be, and they'll germinate when it's time. I'm going to show you a little patch of snow that we do have left and how I would ideally sow these, but in the garden beds that I'm wanting the poppies to grow, the snow has already melted. So we are just going to sprinkle them lightly on top of the soil or the mulch, and it's supposed to rain later this week. And the thought is to let the water from the rainfall kind of soak those seeds down and settle them down into the soil. Now I have 2 new varieties that I am starting this year, both from Baker's Creek. These I like to call peony poppies, but they are a type of breadseed poppy as far as I know. They actually have quite a few different names. They're beautiful in the garden. The blooms don't last long, so what I'm using these for is the seed pods, the poppy pods, after the blooms fade. And then I had some beautiful pink poppies last year. I collected a ton of seeds. It's hard to see, but this is, a regular sized envelope, and it is chock full of seeds. And that was probably coming from a dozen or so of the poppy pods. So there is a whole lot of seeds in those pods. If you don't have poppies now, but a friend does, ask them if you can have a poppy pod or 2, and you will have plenty of seeds to sprinkle around. All right, let's go get started. Okay, now here's a shot of the tiny little poppy seeds. You can actually use these breadseed poppies in your baking too, and I actually like to put them in my homemade soap, so that's just another idea. But I have a good handful here, and I'm just gonna lightly sprinkle them all the way down this bed. This is a bed that had these pink poppies in it last year, so in addition to what I'm spreading, I'm sure there was a few pods that dropped seeds all over. An idea for you, if you only have a small packet of seeds, is to mix that seed pack with some sand, some fine grained sand that's a similar size. That way you might have a cup to spread, and that's going to pretty evenly spread out your seeds for you. So similar to what you'd be doing over your landscape soil is just sprinkling these over the snow. And again, as that snow melts, it's going to take the seeds down into the soil, and you'll have germination before you know it. Another thing to do that will be helpful is to familiarize yourself what poppy seedlings look like. To me, they're a lighter color green, and they look a little bit roughly like lettuce sometimes does. I can pick them out pretty easily now, and I think if you Google searched what a seedling looks like for your type of poppies, that way you're not going through and weeding them out, because they do take a while to germinate, and sometimes I kind of forget about them, and then suddenly they pop up. Now I'm also going to try this year doing some companion planting with my lupin. So this is a row of lupin. I made a couple of tags to remind myself that there's poppies hopefully growing out here. That way, if I see that little seedling that I know isn't a lupin, I'm not going to automatically weed it out of this area. So I have some pink left that I'm going to put in here, but then I'm also going to drop the scarlet and the cream. So hopefully we have a variety out here. And I think because they aren't real bushy plants and they grow pretty vertically, the poppies do. And again, I'm harvesting them mostly for the pods to use fresh and dried. I'm hoping they work well companion planted with the lupin, but we'll see. Definitely a decent amount of seeds in here, and these are lighter than the pink ones. So I'm going to try and spread these out a decent ways down the row here. Okay, we're going to do the same with the scarlet. I kind of know where I ended. Actually a lot more seeds in these two packets than I thought there were, so I'm going to take the pink ones that I had saved, and I'm going to use some of these in the next row up. So in this row currently is feverfew, which is a perennial in our area, and some trolleus, which is a perennial cousin to ranunculus, and I haven't really seen it bloom yet. We're gonna see if it does anything this year, but we're gonna lightly spread these out in this row. That's all for today. This was quick and easy, and hopefully we see our rewards here in late spring, early summer. I will leave you with a few pictures that I took last year of the pink peony red seed poppy. They're absolutely gorgeous. I highly recommend getting yourself some poppies and get those sowed depending on your climate. If you're around zone 5, I think it's a good time for us to get ours going. Until next time, everyone, subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. Thanks.